All right, Believe Nation, we are live. Let me put this in. Ask us your questions below. We're gonna do a mega Q&A session today. I'm excited. We're gonna pin this to the top. Let's go. Happy Friday. Friday CEO day for me. So spend the time working on my business instead of in my business. And man, it's been a crazy full morning so far. But excited chat with you guys, bring in Mr. Mark Drager, and answer as many questions as we can in our window together. Here he is,
What's up?
in the house. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, you're going to give us our intro, people context, what we're doing?
Of course. Welcome to the Something to Prove podcast bonus episode. So you may or may not know that Evan and I are on a podcast called the Something to Prove podcast. And every week we release a 1-hour episode where we talk about deep dive topics. And this is our bonus one where we answer questions. So if you've come here to ask questions to Evan, awesome. Unfortunately, you have to listen to me as well.
Wow, that's the setup. Okay,
That's
great.
the truth.
Okay, give us some questions below, and we'll do our best. Okay, here we go. First question.
Ooh.
MHD.
Like
Why are you so handsome? What a start.
Thank you.
That's not the question. Why, Mark? It says why. Why are you so handsome?
I don't think that I am actually, but anyway, that's now more getting into deep-seated, deep-rooted.
It's been a lot of Mark insecurities so far today. That he's not good enough. That he's not handsome enough. That come on, Mark. Let's go. You got something to prove. Make it happen.
Work at it. You got to work at it. Confidence is everything, right? So if you can wear certain clothes, if you can feel a certain way, if you can eat certain things, if you can sleep, if you can I think it's that attractiveness more to me at least is the sparkle in the eye. It's the banter, it's the twinkle, it's what you're wearing, it's how you're carrying yourself. That matters way more. So feel good about yourself and then you'll come across well. I don't know.
I'm gonna give credit to my parents.
So you don't credit it to confidence or how you feel, you credit it just to gene pool.
That's why I'm so handsome. All right, next. Kana Reen up. Wow. Sorry, I probably butchered that. What's your favorite motivational quote?
Oh, wow. Your favorite motivational quote. There are so many that I pull out depending on how I'm feeling or the moment. And I don't know if I can just rhyme one off on the top of my head. I don't know. I like the idea of just getting 1% better. That's something that someone said to me the other day, that I struggle or focus way too much on trying to get like 10% or 20% or 200% better. Just get 1% better. Just work at that little bit all the time consistently.
You are Evan Carmichael, and you can do anything you believe that you can. Said by these people. Let's see how many times we can shut up my parents on today's episode of the podcast. Okay. Let's go. Next. Naveen, how to develop a strong mind.
Oh, well, I think that, we get in and out of moments where we're feeling happy and strong and bold and confident, and then we're feeling depressed or worried or sad or scared or whatever it is. And so what I try to do is stack little wins, stack wins. And when I feel myself moving in the wrong direction, when you feel yourself moving from being bold and from confident and having strong things to going the other way, there's a few things you can do. Evan has taught me to remind myself of who I am because his parents taught him to remind himself of who he was. So I say, I'm a Drager. Dragers do hard things. I literally took that from Evan when he was growing up. His parents used to tell him, what line was it? You're Castelli Carmichael, and
you can do anything you believe that you can.
There you go. Believe came right from his parents, right from day one. But I think it's about facing the challenge, right? It's about one, in the moment when you think you can't do it, to say out loud whatever line it is that you need to say to define who you want to be, and then two, have these challenges that you can attack, so that way you can build a sense of confidence and strength in terms of becoming that person that you want to be. So you tell yourself that you're the type of person who does it, and then you go out and
So I got a little distracted there because Mark's getting a disproportionate amount of love in the chat here. Sato and Co says, followed you, Mark. We're getting that. Mark is so very good with his words. And then 100 and a fire. I mean, this is a lot of extra Mark love that, I mean, we're kind of used to, but it just feels like it's disproportionate compared to previous episodes. So this is very good. It distracted me. How to develop a strong mind? You start with the moments when you feel like you don't have a strong mind. So whether that's a weak mind or whether that's you're struggling to stay consistent on something, like when's the opposite of when you feel like you have a strong mind, and then just moving what I call the break line forward, where you give yourself a break. So whatever you find difficult, challenging, when you would normally quit or give up on something, just go a little bit further. Just move the break line a little bit further. If you would go, I don't know, what's an example? If you would...
I have an example.
Okay.
Last week I was working out and I was on a treadmill and we were doing this exercise where I was running at inclines that increased. Every minute you go up an incline, but you can't drop your speed. So I think I'm about to run out of breath. I think I can't breathe. I can't go on. I went for 3 minutes past what I thought I couldn't. And then I finally had to take a walking recovery. And so I had two choices, right? I took a walking recovery, which made me feel like I was cheating, right? Why couldn't I go for 5 minutes? Or I could say, wait a minute, I wanted to give up 3 minutes earlier. My brain, my mind told me that I had to give up. And I went 3 minutes past what I thought I could, which is amazing. So a lot of these times when you're facing these types of situations as well, you can choose to beat yourself up, as you know, Evan, you're saying, or you can celebrate how you pushed that little bit further.
Yeah, so you just move the brake line forward just a little bit each time. Getting a strong mind doesn't come from you doing one giant, huge thing. It's the daily battle. It's a daily fight against yourself and your limitations and your insecurities, a daily battle. And every day you win a little bit more, you lose a little bit more. And we want to be winning more than we're losing. And so that's just every single day when you would normally quit on something. Think about the project that you struggle with, keeping a strong mind on, and just push a little bit more than you did yesterday. And that's how you gain a little bit more of a strong mind every single day.
I like it. I woke up at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Wide awake.
Uh-huh.
So I got out of bed and I was like, it's 2 a.m. Should I go down to work? And I was like, but if I go to work now, like I'm going to be like dead by middle of the day or whatnot. Anyway, I ended up catching up on all of this great stuff for about an hour and a half and then went back to sleep. But I was
Did you work on my landing page?
No.
You said Thursday, Friday. What day is today?
Today's Friday.
And you woke up super early. We didn't do it yesterday. Unbelievable. This Drager. Okay, moving on. What's the number one lesson you've learned this year?
That as long as you don't give up, I've been so focused on growth for so long and so afraid of contraction. So I've owned the business since 2006. And it's about grow, more team, more revenue, more clients, grow. And I thought that, hey, if a recession came along or something went wrong in the world, I would lose everything. And we're down like 70%. But as long as I'm here, as long as we still are working, as long as we're not giving up, doesn't matter if you shrink. Because the shrink is temporary, right? The growth is what you'll be able to get back. So the lesson I learned is not to be afraid of having the dip, of slowing down, of contracting, of getting smaller, because it's not the end, as long as you hold on and you get yourself ready for the next stage of growth, that'll come back.
The thing that's on my mind is who, not how. So that's a new book that's coming out, but it's a philosophy from Dan Kennedy, I believe. Could be getting that wrong, but who, not how. So the idea is at the beginning, as an entrepreneur, we're always trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this? Which is great. I think like starting point has to be, how do we do it, right? Somebody tells us we can't do it. How do we do it? You always find a way. And that gets you off the ground. But if you want to scale and build and grow, then you have to start thinking who can do it instead of how do I do it? Because we default to saying, how do I do everything? And then that limits the growth of your business and what is possible. So now it's okay. Who can, like, Mark Drager needs to write my landing page copy, right? I mean, that's a who, not how. Come on, Mark. Sometimes you know, the people on your team will let you down and disappoint you and just not deliver on deadlines that you guys discussed. But it's still about who, not how. And finding the right who.
Friday.
Finding the right who to if you want to grow. So it's not just you trying to figure out everything. It's a good question. I like that one. All right, let's go. Sid, how to boost ourselves daily for study, unable to do that for study preparation.
Well, I mean, if you're in school and to succeed at school, you have to study, and you don't like it, then sometimes you just have to do the things that you have to do because you know it can help. But is there a way that you can make yourself like it? So, I mean, are you interested in the topics you're studying or what you're pursuing, or is it something you have to do? Like, it might be crazy to change your major, but if you're not that excited about what you're studying, are you going to be excited about that career or that path or whatever it is? So first I would separate, is this something that I just have to just bite your teeth and do? Is this something you just have to do to get the thing that you want? Or are you literally coming to terms with the fact that you're not that into this topic, you're not that into this study, you're not that into learning these things, and so it's work and it's stress and it's hard? In which case, can you reorganize? Can you change your topics? Can you change your major? Can you move into something else? Or can you change the way that you study, right? Maybe you think of study as in I read a book and I highlight things all alone in my room and I take notes and stuff like that. Can you get a study partner? Can you bounce ideas off of each other? Can you turn it into a game? Can you put on music? Can you have fun while you're doing it? Like, are there ways that you can actually hack the study process to make it better for you? That's what I would focus on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The vibe I get is, listen, you don't want to study. So you have to remember why the heck you're doing this. Are you doing this because you want to get that job? Are you doing this because you don't want to disappoint your parents? And that's what you just got to remember. And you just got to get through it. Why are you doing this? What's the why behind it? And if you can't have a good enough why, then your alternative is to drop out. You don't want to study. You don't want to spend the rest of your life studying. You don't want to be an academic professor. Awesome. Great. You got X number of years left. If you're committing to doing it, right? You're going to drop out or you're going to do it. What are you going to do right now? You're going to drop out, Sid, or you're going to do it? You're going to do it? Awesome. Then remember the why, and every day sit down and just do it. And stop judging yourself for not feeling motivated. You don't like this stuff. And long term, you can't be in this stuff.
Evan, are you talking to Sid or are you talking to me? It seems like you're talking to me.
No, I'm talking to Sid. No, I'm talking to all the Sids. I'm talking to all the Sids.
Sid, I'm just like you too.
I'm talking to all the Sids because, well, no, but like you're different. You can pick. Sid, I get a version of this question 20 times a day. Like, it's crazy. People don't want to be in university. They realize that what they're doing is stupid for the most part, right? Even if they have I want to be a doctor, but the stuff I'm studying isn't serving me. They're doing it for their parents or potentially for the career, but they don't like studying. So how do I get motivated to study? Don't expect to be motivated to study. You have to decide whether you're going to drop out or finish this thing. Like, stop waffling, stop judging yourself, stop hedging, and just decide, are you dropping out or are you going to do this thing? And if you're going to do this thing, then don't expect to be motivated because you don't like it. So you got a window. You got X number of years left. I mean, I hate this. I hate the idea of having to do stuff that I hate, right? But you've got a limited window. You've got X number, you got 1 year left or 2 years left or 3 years left or whatever. It's not an entire lifetime of doing this. Otherwise, you have to jump off. That's the difference with you. You could pick. You've already graduated. You're an entrepreneur. You get to pick what you want to do, Drager. Sit here. You got to go through the grind, but don't expect to be motivated.
Sid has to choose, is what you're saying as well.
Yeah, but Sid's kind of already chosen. Sid, I mean, yes, choose.
No.
But most Sids of the world aren't dropping out. So great. So for the 5% you're going to drop out, congratulations. Stop living your parents' version of your life. Go do your thing.
Or change your area of study or your major or your school.
But that's just as big a problem. That's just like, again, most Sids aren't going to do that. Most Sids they're not going to drop out. They would love to drop out, but they're not going to. They would love to switch majors, but they're not going to. So they're stuck in this thing. And then they worry, why are they not motivated to finish their studies? Because you don't like the thing. And you don't like studying either. Great. You have to do it if you want to graduate. So stop judging yourself for not being motivated. Put it in your calendar and then go do it. And you've got X number of years left, and then you go off and you start your career. Good luck, Sid.
Good luck, Sid.
That's the reality. Okay, S. Kamau. How to be a good decision maker.
I mean, I don't know. Is there a one way? Is there a proper way to be a good decision maker? I mean, I think that you can relieve yourself. I think a lot of people overthink these decisions, or they think that they're make or break decisions, or they think that there's no recovery or no going back, and so they over agonize and they spend all this time on it, or they make decisions completely without any kind of framework to measure whether it's right or wrong. So first, if you're the type of person who overthinks everything and agonizes over decisions, realize that you can make a decision and then you can just change it later, or you can go back, or you can recover from it, or you could learn from the decision you make. First. Second, Gary Vee says it all the time. Go left or go right. Should I go to university or should I start a business? There's no way to know. You can't live both lives and then later pick the right one. So you have to pick something and then move forward with it. And then the last thing I was saying about a framework is, how do you know if it was a good decision or not? Well, maybe ask yourself, hey, does making this decision take me one step closer to what I want? I think it will. Make the decision and then check in a week or two later and say, is it actually doing what I thought it would do? And if it's not, reverse. And if it is, awesome, make the next decision. Is this helping me get closer to what I want to do? And then check in. I don't think most people actually even follow up with themselves as to the things I did a week or two ago or a month or two ago. Is it actually paying off? Is it actually working? Is it actually doing what I thought it would do? So 1, don't over agonize it. 2, make the decision. And then 3, check in with yourself to see if you're getting the outcome that you want.
Dana Siegelman is giving you lots of love. Just
Thanks.
FYI. Shout out to Dana Siegelman for the Mark Drager love. Okay, so I would start with, you make the big decisions with your heart and your songs with your head. So big decisions in life, don't think about it. You have to feel it. You got to wrap your heart around it. People say wrap my head around it. No, you got to wrap your heart around it first. Then inside of that, I think great decisions come through pattern recognition. So that means you've seen it before, so you can make a good decision the next time it comes up, right? You know, touch a hot stove and you know that it's going to burn you, so you have the pattern recognition to not touch that hot stove again. So you get that through experience. You get that by doing, by saying yes, by trying. And so to Mark's point, you need momentum. You get an idea, you do something about it. And don't make it some giant thing. Just start, right? Look, I want to move to California and spend the rest of my life. How about you just go for the weekend and just see if you like it? Right? Like, just start. Like, find the smallest possible way, because we make these ideas so big. I mean, that happened. Somebody in my workshop when I was in Kansas City, my hour-and-a-half one where I got cut short because I was about to pass out. My first one after the concussion, this woman is like, I want to go to California to do movies. Like, okay, how long you want to do that? I don't know, like 8 years. 8 years? What's the problem? Like, oh, and if I'm going to move, it's going to be this big thing. Like, Jesus Christ, have you been to California? No, not yet. Like, go this weekend to California, right? Or just go and see if you like it before you now make this giant thing that you sit on for 8 years before you have to make any momentum happen, right? So big decisions with the heart, small ones with the head, and then build immediate momentum, like the 2% difference. Take your idea and what's the first 2%, just act on it so that you can start to get the pattern recognition so you can make better decisions going forward. Dana Siegelman saying, haha, yes, she loves Mark Drager. I think that was in relation to Mark Drager's point, not what I'm saying. It's a lot of Mark Drager love. We like it.
We love it.
We love the Mark Drager love. Mark's getting lots of love today. Okay. Lavishly blessed. Wow, what a name. Lavishly blessed. I like that. How and where to go to hire help?
Well, I mean, it really depends on the type of person you're looking for, of course, but I would say that the easiest place to start is always with people you know. So here's a great example. There's someone on my team who's been with me for maybe 2 or 3 years now. Young guy, I think he was 23 when he started. He's 25 now. I put out a post. I put out a post for the job role, but guess what? Everyone we interviewed wasn't that great. But this guy is the son of a friend's coworker, right? So I have a friend. Her coworker's son. And
Is this guy?
the reason
Okay.
why he came to us, and so he's from my hometown. We know similar people, but the reason he came to me
Wait,
was
what's your hometown?
Port Perry.
Oh, wow, you're from Port Perry.
Well, I actually grew up a few blocks from you. I grew up at Don Mills and Finch, and then moved
Oh,
out to 13. But anyway, um, the
wait,
point
you
is,
moved to Port Perry at 13
grade 7, yeah.
until?
Uh,
Port Perry for the middle, for like, I heard Mark Drager right now lives in the middle of nowhere, but Port Perry is legit in the middle of nowhere.
well, I
So,
moved from a city of like 3 million people or something to a town of 7,000 people, but I didn't live in town. No, I lived halfway between two towns. I lived seven. I don't know what it was, 8 minutes outside of town or something. But
this is why you want to run naked with chickens in your backyard. I mean, you did that in Port Perry. Okay, not even outside Port Perry. Okay, keep going.
Port Perry and Uxbridge. Yes, that's where I was. Anyway, the point was where we're going here. If you don't have a system for finding people, for putting out posts, and for interviewing, and we're looking at and running job tests, and all of the system, like you just need some help. I would start with by telling people that you need help. Most people are too afraid to do that. They won't even go onto social media and say, "Hey, can anyone connect me with someone who can help me with XYZ?" Because they feel that they should already have this figured out and should do it in secret and everything. So just talk to people. I need help. Oh man, I really needed someone to help me with some administration work. Do you know anyone? Does anyone know anyone? Anyone's, this or that or can help? Just start with that social group first. That's where I would go.
So I right now take a two-pronged approach. Is in one where I try to find, I look to my network to see who do I like, like especially if it's got to be a position that's close to me. Who do I like working with? Who do I like being around? And then I struggle to try to find like, okay, how can I spend more time with this person, and how can I potentially work on something together? And there may not be an obvious, like that's where I have a person, but no job necessarily. And I'm trying to find, ways to do something together. I like collecting good people, right? So when you find somebody good, whether that's in an online forum, a networking meeting, whatever, you come across somebody good, like, ooh, I want to add this person to my collection. I want to be around this person more, but I don't know what we can do together. But I'm constantly kind of thinking about them and trying to find a way to do something together. And I've had great, success with that kind of stuff. The other one is when I have a job and I'm trying specifically to find somebody, I'll often, we use Upwork a ton. So Upwork.com will post, we've probably got a couple jobs outstanding right now. We've hired, I don't know how many people through it, lots of people through it. I like finding people who have no skills almost and just like building them up. Like it makes me super happy. We never hire, like the person doing all of our thumbnails now.
As like no experience.
Yeah, like we taught them Photoshop and we taught them, all of this stuff. And that just makes me so happy. It's like taking somebody who didn't ever believe in themselves, like just wanted to do data entry or some, crappy job. And then we teach them something new and give them a skill set. Make that always, maybe that's part of the believe brain, but that always fills me up. And then I guess a third, if I have a job, but I don't, like I need to be close to me, I'm looking through my network to see who do I know that might fit this role and work on some small task together and see how well it goes and if I want to dive further in. Yeah, so we've got about 30 people on the team, and need more soldiers, need more generals, both. We're hiring. Let's go. Okay. Daniel Breeze in the house. Have you read Profit First?
No.
No, never heard of it. But books are not my thing, so I wouldn't put that as an indictment on that book. Bo Hawkins in the house.
Hey!
Bo is a
not a
Bo
real.
is an entrepreneur I've invested into. Bo is a great example of what we were just talking about. It's like, I like
Oh,
this guy. I want to do something with him.
oh, your
Bo's a great,
your
what?
brother is very very fit. I don't know why you're asking this question to us.
Okay, so Bo is a great example of the last question. I don't know if he's still in the house or not, but Bo, I've known Bo for a number of years, and he's a good guy to collect. It's like, I like being around Bo. I love the energy with Bo. I want to do something with Bo, but nothing came to mind. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to. So we stayed in touch, but I didn't have an idea. And then I had an idea driving from a hike, driving home from a hike in Hamilton.
Driving, right? You're driving to the desert. You're driving home from a
I get
hike.
great ideas driving. Yeah, yeah, I do. No, it's. I think you get your best ideas when you're just like a little bit of motion, but you don't have anything in front of you. Like, I have to focus on the road, but it doesn't take all your brain power to focus on the road. So there's beautiful scenery, and anyway. And then when I got home, I messaged Bo to start an agency to basically book people on shows. So if you've got a show and you want to have great guests for your show, Bo's the guy who now does that. And Mark Drager is Bo's second client.
Second, Stephen Hagen is his first client.
The second client. Anyway, and that's a great example of something coming together. Now that took a couple of years, I guess, from the first time I met him. And also, he wasn't at that point already either, right? It's like synergistic for both of us. Anyway, that's Bo. Bo's question is, how important is fitness as an entrepreneur?
Oh, you've gone to a different question now. What's the number one lesson you learned this year? What was both
No,
questions?
that's his question. How important is fitness as an entrepreneur from Bo? You don't see that?
No, I see Coco D.
We answered that one already.
Telling you what I see on my screen.
Okay. What do you got? Hold on. Instagram, what do you guys see? What question do you see on the chat right now? I see Bo about fitness. Do you see Bo's fitness question, or you see Coco's number one lesson question? I'm super curious. Let us know. Now the chat's not like even moving at all.
Maybe everything's broken on IG.
What the heck?
How
Okay.
important is fitness
As an entrepreneur? That's the question we're answering. Oh, they see Bo. Yes. Fitness. Bo. Fitness.
Perfect.
Fitness. Everybody sees fitness. Okay, it's just Dragers that's messed up. Okay, good. This makes me happy. Okay, go.
I think that I think it's really important, but I think it's important for everyone. I think that feeling good, you almost don't know how good it is until you get more fit. And so I was never fit. It was only like a few years ago that I started to care about my diet, that I started to exercise regularly, started to lose weight. And I didn't even realize what I was missing. But I could tell you that walking up a flight of stairs, I would get winded, or I used to hate putting on socks or tying up shoes because I'd have to like hold my breath, because you're bending over and all of these things. Like, you don't even realize the little sacrifices that you're making. And so I would say that feeling good and having energy is important for everyone. Like, whether you're 10 years old or you're 100 years old, feeling good about yourself and having energy is really important. Now, for an entrepreneur, if you are working crazy hours and you are and people are relying on you, and you do have a lot of stress and you are trying to hustle, then what you eat and how fit you are and how well you sleep, I think is really, really important, because otherwise you're just not going to be able to carry as much energy into the things that you're doing and make the most of the time that you have. I ran my business for 10 years unfit, though. It's only after I got fit that I realized how valuable.
I don't think it's that important. I don't think fitness. Nah, I don't think fitness is that important. I mean, fitness as a human, especially over a long enough window, yes. But fitness tied to entrepreneurship, I don't think it's that important. Like, listen, I love taking care of myself. I love sleep. I go, this isn't a sleep question. This is fitness. I could be just as productive. Like, I would be just as productive as an entrepreneur. Keto diet's done nothing for me as an entrepreneur.
I'm saying that if you got like really easily winded, you couldn't stand all day.
Dude, I broke my neck and couldn't do anything, and I still crushed it. Like, I sat on a couch.
Indigestion issues, you felt overweight, like all of that stuff would affect you. I can't believe it.
No. It's like that. It's really nothing. Like keto has. I know that's not a fitness question. I think diet is even more important than fitness, just for overall health. But yeah, when I broke my neck and I was doing nothing, no exercise, no walking, nothing. The brain fog of having a concussion, let's get rid of that because I was pretty useless for the first week. But after that, massive pain still from my neck, zero fitness, and it was fine. Like productivity in my business, zero impact, like almost zero impact. Now I'm not advocating like just go be unhealthy and don't worry about fitness and all that. But like I think honestly, I think happiness and mindset is the whole game. Like this is why loving what you do is so important. Because if you wake up and you love the thing that you're about to do, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter like for that day how fit you are. That's gonna catch up to you and you might die of a heart attack. Right? So like yes, be healthy, longevity, super important. So if you're looking at the longevity of an entrepreneur, then maybe. But I don't I think the physical is given too much weight and the mental is not given enough weight.
That's our episode, guys. If you want to learn more about Some of the Proof podcast, you can find us on Apple Podcast or on YouTube or on any of the podcast things. Just look for Something to Prove podcast.
We end on a controversial one. Maybe our topic for the next actual episode, Mark. We'll see. Thank you guys for love. Happy weekend. We'll see you Monday.